Good morning. I mean that sincerely, not sarcastically. Good morning. It's 5:45, heading to the gym, doing my normal routine. And I keep a lot of quotes in my phone just because if I ever lack something to talk about off the top of my head, especially this early in the morning, I can just go to that list of quotes or subjects. And a lot of times I'll get them from things I hear on other podcasts that I listen to, or other people speaking. And several of the podcasts that I like to listen to are kind of grumpy old guys like me, and they come at you like grumpy old guys like me. I try to soften the tone a little bit though, because I know not everybody likes that. I can be that, and I think that it's everything has its time and place. Appropriate. This one I'm going to take a little bit of a middle road on, because I am big on accountability, but I'm also big on empathy. Those are the two leadership characteristics that I've taken from my long military career and then transitioning back to being a civilian and working in a corporate job. Empathy and accountability. Empathy because it's tough. I get it. It's tough. But accountability because what are you going to do about it? No one's coming to save you. And it's that kind of mentality that there are people out there, there are resources, but they are resources. They are not meant to do it for you. They are meant to help you and guide you. Ultimately, it is your responsibility. And so the main topic that I wanted to talk about today is the problem is in the mirror. The good news is, so is the solution. That you can be your own worst enemy. You are likely the cause of all or most of your problems. The good news is you're also the solution. Struggle comes when either you don't have clarity or you don't have the knowledge, skills, and abilities. And I do like to repeat certain things, and one of those is don't confuse simple with easy. A lot of the things that I talk about are fairly simple. We can break them down to a simple level. The body is complex, the human mind is complex, and we're still learning a lot of interesting things about the mind-body connection and how we can tap into and learn how to use or manipulate the mind. And there's rarely a single solution that is a blanket for everyone, because not only is the mind complex, but it's also can be very different. There's some people are depressed as in they're sad. Other people are depressed as in chemically imbalanced, right? That's a big difference, and we're talking about on a spectrum from really, really high functioning, doing really, really well. If there could be a normal, this is a normal. We're even beyond normal, to the other side of the spectrum of just really struggling right now, and I don't know what to do about it. And that could be because of knowledge, skills, and abilities, but that could also be a significant issue, medical, mental health, where a little bit more assistance. But even then, if a psychologist or a psychiatrist or another type of doctor, medical doctor, has something that's going to help you, I don't want to say heal, right? That's kind of extreme, but it's going to help you. It's still ultimately your responsibility. If I hurt myself and I go to a physical therapist, the physical therapist might have a plan for me, but it's my responsibility, even under the guidance of the physical therapist, to go in and do the work. If I don't do the work, if I don't follow through, if I get complacent, if I get lazy, if I distrust them, I'm not going to heal. And so therefore it's my responsibility. And nobody's going to come save me. If I don't do the work, nobody's going to come along and poke me with a stick. People are busy. They have their own lives. They have their own struggles. And that's not to be callous. That's just to be accountable. The empathy part is, I get it. It's tough. We struggle. We all struggle. But that's also the accountability part. We all struggle. And so therefore, don't expect somebody to put their struggles aside constantly in order to save you. It's not only is it not feasible, it's also not respectful to expect somebody to be constantly saving you. Even when you talk about the simple things like relationships, that you love someone because how's the phrase go? There's a love and a need phrase, and I don't want to mess it up because I could mess it up and still make my point. But my wife and I, we're really good friends. We're best friends. We adore each other. But we are good on our own. We stand good on our own. But it's that mindset that allows us to be good, to be great together. And I need her because I love her. I think that's the right way to say it. I need her because I love her. I don't love her because I need her. I don't need her to complete me. I don't need her to fulfill me. I don't need her because she makes my dinner and washes my clothes. Like, I'm capable of doing those things on my own. I iron my own clothes. I don't care what anybody says. I do dishes, right? Like, all that old school manly bullshit. Like, are you incapable of making your own damn sandwich? I love that she enjoys taking care of me, but I also enjoy taking care of her. My wife is not here to save me. My wife is not here to take care of me. My wife is here to be my partner. And sometimes that means she takes care of me. But if she's not around to do some of those little things that I enjoy, I'm still responsible for doing those things. And it's hard, I get it. Especially when you're sad. Even especially the worse it gets, you start falling into things like depression. And a lot of times, I'm not talking about the clinical, chemically imbalanced. I'm talking about I have unhelpful thinking patterns, so therefore I'm getting unhelpful, unproductive results. I use the example of a friend of mine that called me, a younger female in her mid-20s who was having a hard time going to the gym. She'd been to the gym before. She knew she's worked out before. She's also had some injuries and some illnesses that had caused her some setbacks. And she is taking accountability and she wants to be healthy. So over the course of time, she has recovered from her injuries and she's put herself back on a path of not only her education to get herself to have a career that she loves. She is also really focused on things like nutrition and fitness, which is amazing, which she should. But she's not an expert in nutrition and fitness. So she's a little uncomfortable trying to figure out when she goes to the gym what to do. And so therefore, because she didn't have a plan, it was causing her anxiety. Because she felt, well, we discovered that was the issue. She just felt like everybody was watching her. Everybody was judging her. And she was really uncomfortable. And she even had her earbuds in and she was listening to music. And she wasn't getting the results as in calming down, getting into a routine. She felt really uncomfortable and judged. Well, we talked. I asked her some questions. I didn't assume anything. I asked her some questions because there's times where she went to the gym previously and she did just fine. Well, it was her apartment gym, and there wasn't very many people. Okay, well, what was it about that though? Because take away the people, because there was occasionally other people in the apartment gym. Okay, so more people feels like more judgment, but what's different though? You felt comfortable going to the gym before. What was it? And it just kind of spelled out. She's like, I just don't feel like I know what I'm doing. I feel, and this is harsh, again, self-talk. She's like, I just feel like an idiot. I don't even know what to do. Everybody's walking around doing their thing. Okay, so what I'm hearing is, you don't have a plan. You don't have a workout plan. You're not a fitness expert. So how can you expect yourself to walk into a gym and just know what to do? That's like walking into a grocery store, not knowing how to cook, and being like, well, I guess I'll just go to the frozen food section because I don't know what else to do. And then being uncomfortable because you're walking through the counter with 25 frozen meals, right? So what do you do about it? Well, you have to either go to somebody who knows what they're talking about, or you have to look up information. You have to go talk to somebody. You have to approach somebody. You have to go look up things on the internet so that you can educate yourself. Knowledge, skills, and abilities. You have to increase your knowledge. But that's a you responsibility. Nobody's going to come to you and save you and say, hey, I realize you're struggling, you don't know how to cook. Here's a whole bunch of recipes. I don't have time for that. I got my own problems. And that's, trying to take that middle road, that really tough road is, hey, pull your head out of your ass. It's your own damn responsibility, right? But you see my point. No one's coming to save you. The person in the mirror is the problem, but they're also the solution. And so I hope you take that as an encouraging thought, an empowering thought, that you have all the information in front of you. Google it. Look it up on YouTube, videos, TikToks, whatever it is that you want to do. Go find the information that you're looking for, knowledge. And then you learn how to do the things and you gain skills and abilities. That's where confidence comes from, and the confidence is going to encourage you to continue to learn and continue to do so that you continually become more of a solution than a problem. And then through all that, you will feel motivated. Motivation is the result. You will feel motivated to continue to learn more and to take responsibility and take accountability, because no one is coming to save you. And then you will be in a position to mentor and coach other people who are their own problems. And you will be able to, people will say, wow, you're doing such an amazing job. This is what happened to this young lady. Through effective study habits and time management and self-care, she then had classmates coming to her, asking her advice. And she came to me saying, what do I do? I don't know how to help these people. And I'm like, first of all, it's not your responsibility to save anybody else. So take that off the plate. If they are not seeing the results they want to see, it is not your responsibility. Your responsibility comes in being a good model, a good role model, and then providing people with information of what you've done. Not as in, hey, this is what I did, this is what you should do. But rather, hey, this is what worked for me, what might work for you. Put the responsibility on the other person. Don't try to save people. And that's a general rule. Not, when it comes to like serious mental health, then yes, mental health first aid. We're all mental health first aid. We're not doctor. Most of us aren't doctors, psychologists. I'm even trained in psychology. I'm not a psychologist. I know a lot about psychology, but I am not a mental health expert. I'm not going to diagnose and solve people's mental health issues. It's not my role. And so therefore I need to recognize my boundaries. So, and that's kind of the empathy side of, I want to help you, but I'm not the one that's going to give you what you need. I'm also not the one that's supposed to save you. That's a personal responsibility. Use the resources that are available to you. So not only is that a lesson for you personally, you looking in the mirror, you're the problem and the solution, but it's also for other people, so that you don't become bogged down by other people's desire for you to save them. Be a resource for them. Save yourself. Be a resource for other people. Even the most highly trained medical doctors and mental health doctors are experience a lot of mental health crisis themselves, because they are in a helping profession and they see a lot of distress, and it can cause them distress in the long term. People that are healthy, even in those experiences, and this is good for you if you are able to learn to help yourself and you want to help others, is you have to disassociate a little bit. And I don't mean like ignore other people and be callous and rude, but you have to be able to create space between their problems and their responsibility for solving their problems. You can be a resource, but you cannot save them. It has to be their responsibility, because even if you do save them, you've now done it for them. How have you empowered them? How have you held them accountable? Even if you were appropriately empathetic, and that's a whole different conversation of how to be appropriately empathetic. If you don't have the accountability for somebody, then you're still not really helping them. You have to help them understand how to grow. And this is me being that person for you. How do you learn things for yourself, knowledge, skills, and abilities, so that you can grow and thrive through stress and adversity? You are the problem. You're also the solution.